Hey there, my friends. Welcome back to another episode here on the Fit Father Project podcast. Again, my name is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi. I'm the founder here at the Fit Father Project, and I am very excited to introduce today's guest, one of our dear program members, and a man who's made an incredible transformation using the Fit Father program, Jules Michaud, 47 years old from New Brunswick, Canada. So, Jules, welcome to the show. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, your age, where you're from, a little bit about your family, what you do for work, and then let's get into your Fit Father journey.
All right, sounds good. So thanks for having me on the show, first of all. And so my name is Jules Michaud. I'm 47 years young, and I'm from Edmonton, New Brunswick. So it's a border town. It borders Madawaska, so right next to the States and the province of Quebec in Canada. Um, I have a lovely wife. We've been married for about 20 years. Just celebrated our 20th this year, and I have a son, Henri, who's just graduated high school, started his first year university, and he's doing well there. My job, I work at the DOT, so the Department of Transportation Infrastructure of New Brunswick. So I take care of the road network, maintenance operations for the entire province. So I'm out of town every second week or so, and I travel between Fredericton and here, which is about 2.5 hours away. So yeah, that's a little bit of background about me.
And for those who don't know, Jules, you're taking this recording out of a hotel room because you're traveling for work. And also for those who can't see this, Jules, you look incredible. I mean, for 47, you look like you're full of life, healthy, lean. And I know that's a big part of your story. So tell us a little bit about how you found the Fit Father Project, what was going on with your health at the time that you joined us, and let's start there from the beginning.
Yeah, sounds good. So it's not my first kick at the can in trying to lose weight, I guess. So that's part of it. Yeah, about 15 years ago, I lost about 35 pounds. And I was able to maintain that for about a period of about 10 years. Slowly, though, things crept up and they kept creeping up. So lately, I was back up, not to where I was before, but I gained back about 25 pounds of the 35 I had lost. Uh, I tried exercise programs, a few of them. I tried the previous weight loss program that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But even with the weight loss program, I was hitting that 100 and so it was 155-pound plateau. I could not get below that.
And how tall are
Um,
you, Jules?
I'm 5'6".
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 5'6", and yeah, for me, ideal weight when you look at some of the stuff on the internet, it's about 140 pounds, which is.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah. So I was at 155, couldn't get it below that. Um, at the same time, really, there was a mindset as well. You get in your 40s and you say, well, life's short. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy the drinks, enjoy the food. I can't get below 155 now. Yeah, there's not much we can do about it. So finally, COVID started kicking in as well. So all of a sudden, up in Canada here, the restrictions uh, were quite, I'll say, severe. But so there was a lot of time spent at the house. So lots of drinking, lots of good food, and that wasn't helping. So all of a sudden, I go to my doctor's last fall, and he tells me, "Geez, your cholesterol is starting to get on the high side, Jules. You need to start watching out. You need to start watching for your diet." So I said, "Okay, I'll start watching my diet," and I started going to the gym, started exercising more. But deep down inside, I knew that the gym was, and I was going there with my son. So we did a couple of workouts together, and then I think that was enough for him. And finally, I said, yeah, this is good, but it's not really structured. At some point in time, I know that it's not going to be exactly what I'm looking for. I'm probably going to let it go. Um, so yeah, then back in December, right around Christmas time, I started taking a deeper dive into this. I'd look back at I'm a guy who likes to set goals and do mission statements in my
Mm-hmm.
personal life. So I started looking back at my life goals, and really with my son moving on to university and all that, it was I knew there was big changes in my life coming in, and I said I want to be able to travel. To be able to do that, I need to be fit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to spend more time with my wife, have fun together. To be able to do that, I want to be fit. I want to have a good retirement. So finally, I said, okay, I've got to do something about my health to make sure that I can achieve those goals and have fun. So I started basically looking around the internet, and one of the things I thought to myself is I've tried the program that I was on in the past that had worked so well for me. It wasn't working now, so I typed in weight loss men over 40. And then the logo of the Fit Father Project came up, and I was listening to Lee the other day on one of your podcasts, and caught my eye. And I said, okay, I've got to check this out. So, um, a few things that spoke to me as I was listening to you on your different videos. Um, One is, men who were 40s and 50s need a different approach than when you're in your 20s. So I said, okay, that makes sense. Um, I like the muscle building component of it because I had read before um, that in order to speed up your metabolism, it's good to have lean tissue. And as you get
Mhm.
older, it's good to build lean tissue. So I like the fact there was the two components, the nutrition and the muscle building. And yeah, and the price was reasonable. And finally, you go through the internet and you see all these things and they come up and they say, well, click here and I'll tell you more. And but in your program, you gave quite a bit of materials ahead of time that someone could go. So there's um, the meal plan ahead of time that you give
Mhm.
out. I forget the exact name around it, but there's a lot of information that you dish out. And finally, I said, geez, I don't think I've got anything to lose here. So I joined. Yeah. So that's my story of how I got there.
So you join, and what was your early days experience like? For those that haven't joined the program yet, one of the things we do is when you join the program, you go through a series of setup steps where
Yep.
you get up and going on the meal plan, you review the workouts, you write a mission statement, you get set up. So as a goal setting guy, you have this new program and has some more structure for you. What was it like getting the initial momentum on the program, and what did you experience in the first few weeks?
So for me, and so setting up the program it really spoke to me. It's uh, some of the tools it's not the exact same tools, but all the principles that you're applying are principles that through leadership development programs that I've had the chance to go through in my personal and business life. So it really spoke to me. It was easy to go through. You go out there and you put okay, why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
What are the benefits? What's going to be the downfall around this, right? And then once you put that down on paper, you realize, yeah, okay, the downfalls aren't all that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So compared to the benefits I'm about to gain, and and then you write your mission statement around the goals that you want to set. So for me, what it did, it really put a lot of focus on getting my health in trim, and and immediately just very focused on that goal. And as I started, I jumped right into the workouts, the meal plans, and and really, I think I might have skipped one or two workouts over the entire 6 months or 5 months that I've been in there so far. So yeah, it's just kept me really focused and really energized. So and as I started to get into the program itself, um, the yeah, immediately I saw an increase in energy level. It didn't take very long. I used to nap. I'm very fortunate that when I'm at home, I can just go home for lunch. So
Mm-hmm.
take a quick nap at lunch, and then during supper time, I started to have naps as well. So that's now a thing of the past. I still like to nap once in a while. Don't get me wrong, when I don't sleep well at night, but it's not something that I need to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and for me, it was um, as I started getting into it, it was just a steady weight loss. Before I joined the program, I had so before Christmas and the date that I joined, I sort of lost the easy pounds. So I
Mm-hmm.
lost about 5 pounds before I officially clicked start program.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, for me, was just a nice steady loss of a pound a week.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
How did this feel different for you than other programs you tried in the past? I mean, you tried some Beachbody stuff in the past. You tried
yeah,
different kinds of diets and eating programs in the past.
yeah.
What about this approach felt different to you as a guy over 40 at the time?
The approach compared to, say, the exercise programs that I had done,
Mm-hmm.
I found that the focus in the Fit Father program is really on the nutrition and then the exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's different than the other exercise program I had tried, because although there's a nutrition component, it's just sort of on the side.
Mm-hmm.
You get a good book, you get a good nutrition plan, but there's nothing in there to help motivate you to follow through with the nutrition side. And when I compare it to the program I had joined 15 years ago, well, there was the exercise component. Uh, so I was able to maintain, and I know this, so I was able to maintain my muscle mass, and I'm sure that 15 years ago I had lost that muscle mass, because today I weigh the same weight I did back then,
Mm-hmm.
but my waist size is 2 inches smaller, right? So I've lost more gut. I weigh the same, so it's got to be muscle that I've been able to keep or
Mm-hmm.
build. So yeah, um, and now it feels different for this one. Um, I find the nutrition on this one is easy, and you mentioned it during your when we go through the setup steps. So for me, the way I set it up is on weekdays I'll have the shakes
Mm-hmm.
every morning, pretty much. And no, I have the shakes every morning, and then lunch is easy. Lunch is either leftovers from the previous night, so I throw a protein with a salad,
Mm-hmm.
um, or I do the sandwich and a salad.
Mm-hmm.
So right off the bat, that takes care of half of my meals. I don't need to think about all that much,
Yeah.
and it works well. For the evenings, it was on my end, and you can sort of massage the program to your what works for you. That's what I like about your program as well. So when I was having discussions with my wife about setting up the meals on Sunday, we'll do all the meals. She looked at me. She says, "Nah, that's not going to happen. Who's cooking around the house, right?" I said, "Oh, that's you." So, but what we did is very early on. So now on Saturdays we establish what the meals are going to be for the weeknights.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's a protein, a carb, and typically we'll cook a batch of rice
Mm-hmm.
and uh, and then some vegetables that we either just steam or we throw a salad in there. So that's another 25% that's taken care of before I
Mm-hmm.
start my Monday. So I'm at 75%. I don't need to think about anything.
Yep.
And uh, and then I'll be on the weekends. That's when I have a bit more time. So I'll cook myself an omelet. I've learned how to make some really good protein waffles and pancakes. So typically I'll have that and watch a Formula One race.
Nice.
And evenings, I'll still cook my barbecue, um, but typically just a good piece of meat. Um, Instead of having 3-4 beer when I'm cooking on the barbecue, I just have a glass of wine and a beer or a beer um, while I'm eating. So that's where I change the habits there. So there's a lot less alcohol consumption, but doesn't impact me too much. So
You absolutely nailed it. I mean, I'm really happy to hear your structure because the aim that in designing the Fit Father meal plan was so that I can empower a guy like you, Jules, to not think about the majority of the meals and to have something that's flexible and fits your family. And I love it. So guys listening to this, standardized breakfast. You happen to use the shake, which I personally do too. It's delicious. It's convenient. You have a couple go-to lunches, either leftovers from dinner or protein plus salad or the sandwich recipes plus salad. Easy. And then for dinner, you're being flexible with what your family has. There's a little bit of pre-planning, but you can have a variety of different things and you still have a beer and a glass of wine on occasion. It's not like this stuff has to leave your life. And in fact, if it does, you're being too restrictive and it's likely going to cause you to fail. So that's huge. Your nutrition is nailed. How were the workouts for you? We have these guys come on here and they tell about their first Apex 10, this butt kicking workout we have in the beginning of the Fit Father 30X program, phase number 1. How is the exercise different for you, and what kind of changes did you see to your fitness level as you started to do these workouts?
yeah, so the workouts for me to make them work, the way I approach it is I do them in the morning. So typically in the morning I toss and turn from 5:30 onwards.
Mm-hmm.
So and so I said, okay, I'll just start getting up instead and do the workout in the morning. So I find that works well for me. If I, just this weekend I thought I skipped one, and I said, "Oh, I'll do it tonight, and evenings just doesn't work. So that's one key thing that I learned from me that
Mm-hmm.
works. Um, Apex 10, when I first started, it took me about an hour to do with 10-pound weights.
Mhm.
I'm fairly fortunate. I was able to get through all of it, uh, but very rapidly I saw the improvement. So that's a big motivator, right?
Mhm.
So I went from 60 minutes, second workout was 50 down to 40, and then I think it's around 40. You say, okay, increase your weight. So after the third workout, I already started increasing my weights.
Nice.
So you can see the impacts pretty quickly, and that's very motivating. The other thing that happened while we were doing this, the gym's closed because of COVID up here.
Right.
Um, so I actually ended up building a little bench press or a squat rack with a bunch of 2x4s with my son.
Yeah.
So that was a son and father exercise,
Nice.
and but yeah, I like it. It's all we just bought a couple of weights at the local store here,
Mhm.
and just got some dumbbells and started getting at it. And what's nice is you see the results pretty quick.
Mhm.
So you can always set a goal to improve. And for me, it was always, it's just you. There's always improvement from workout to workout to workout. And
Mhm.
it's either you time it and, okay, yeah, I shaved off a minute here, or yeah, I increased the weight. So that's what I like about it. The other thing that I like is that it changes every month.
Mhm.
Um, so as you go through this, it's something new, a
Mhm.
different challenge that you jump into. Um, yeah, and you go to your own rhythm. One thing that I want to mention too, so I joined Fit Father for Life, and one thing that I really liked, and that you don't advertise in your as you- in your on your website. Uh, One of the first emails, I got an email from one of the coaches, and that was saying, if you need help with your form, send us a video. We'll help you out, right? And I was really concerned. I was doing deadlifts. I was concerned about my back.
Mhm.
Uh, so I said, oh, what the hell? I'll send him a video. So I took myself in video, sent it off to him, and sure enough, got back to me and said, no, thumbs up, you're doing good. Don't worry about it. So that was good as well. And yeah, the hit workouts, I've tried to. Right now, at the moment, I've got that. It's more I like to mountain bike, so really, I just substituted those for mountain biking,
Mhm.
and yeah, and I see the difference in my body as well. So I see definition. Anyways, it's muscle definition that I've never seen
Yeah.
before. So that's exciting too.
Yeah, it totally is.
So,
Yeah, you look great. I mean, the muscle definition you made even in this bit of this year, as January, February, March, April, May, as you're going through our Fit Father Challenge. I mean, you got down over 20 pounds, and you definitely have the ab definition, shoulders, lots of muscle. It's very clear your fitness has improved dramatically. And one thing you mentioned is that your focus has improved. And so I want to know, outside of the physical changes, how has the structure that you've implemented with Fit Father affected the different areas of your life, your work, your family, your focus, your energy, etc.?
yeah. So definitely on the energy side, it's increased quite a bit. Uh, and I'll give you an example. So my fitness levels are much better than they were. So this year when I started mountain biking again after the snow melted in May, uh, typically even though I do some snowshoeing in the winter and all that stuff, I jump on the mountain bike and I'd be 10 minutes into the mountain, I'd be out of breath and okay, I got to take a break. And it would take a month and a half to build up that stamina. And this time around, I jump on the bike and I just went around like it was, the end of season last year. So fitness levels really improved. Um, I'm sleeping better. So I'm still not exactly where I'd like to be. That's just because of, I'll say maybe not work related stress, but sometimes your mind
Mm-hmm.
just churns. So I've actually started doing some meditating and that kind of
Nice.
stuff. So that's helping out. Um, yeah, so still have a bit of a ways to go there, but yeah, I'm more confident. Um, I don't know. It's weird to say. So it's. I went shopping the other day, and you try on some clothes size you've never tried. Like I've never been this like I've never wore the size of clothes that I'm wearing today. So and you start shopping and you say, okay, geez, and all of a sudden my choices are limited because
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the small side of things, right? So um, yeah, so I'm just more and just more motivated to take care of myself, take on new challenges. I'm in a part of my life now that my son's moving on to university, so I've got to change the focus. So I used to be hockey manager for his competitive hockey teams. That took a lot of time. So all of a sudden, I just gained that 20 hours a week that I need to find something to do with. So I don't know. It's giving me the motivation to do things differently.
Hmm.
And just doing this podcast, for example,
Yeah.
never would I have done that in the past. So yeah.
That's amazing. I'm glad you're here on this show and we get to share your story. I know it's going to help a lot of guys. If you could have given yourself now from what you know and what you figured out when you were starting, or maybe, a couple of years ago when you were spinning your wheels, gaining weight, losing some weight, what bits of advice would you give your former self, or even a guy who's thinking about starting, who wants to make a change but doesn't quite know how to get going?
Number one, it's even though you're 40, 45, it's still achievable.
Hmm.
So it's sometimes you look at these goals and you were talking about the abs. So I ab definition. So I had that set in a goal setting session I had done back in 2014,
Hmm.
and I sort of crossed it out and said, yeah, maybe that's too lofty of a goal. I'll just be fit. I'll
Hmm.
be in better shape. Uh, so those things are achievable. So we got to get that in our minds.
Hmm.
Um, and then and for me, there will be sacrifices. It's not an easy road.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a fun road, but just got to keep in mind the benefits far outweigh the cost. I'm sure that's true for everyone. Uh, and then as you jump into this, just go full in, go all in. Um, do everything you're supposed to do, and just keep motivated. Use the accountability network that's out there. So there's the Facebook group that we use to try and keep each other motivated. You sort of see what other people are going through
Hmm.
uh, on a weekly basis. You get some accountability emails to get back to the coaching staff. Respond to those and keep yourself motivated by doing it that way. So and put some small goals ahead of you, right?
Hmm.
So the Apex 10, maybe you couldn't do it all. Well, okay, do one more round this time around,
Hmm.
and so on and so forth.
And Jules, what makes you confident that this is going to be sustainable for you? Like, why are you going to be able to keep this up? Why is this not just another fitness kick for you?
I'm full of energy. This is going to help me achieve my long-term goals. It's going to help me enjoy a longer life. I hope it's putting all the odds on my side. Uh, and it's easy to follow. Like I enjoy the shakes in the morning. So it's not as if I even miss the shakes on the weekends when I don't have them. So I have them at lunch at times. So the meal plan's easy. You can like on the weekends I still cook ribs.
Hmm.
We've got a family gathering coming up. I just bought a big friggin' brisket at Costco, so we'll cook that up. So you can still do that, and really the costs for me aren't all that great because I'm still doing what I used to do. It's just in a little bit more moderation,
Hmm.
and and I don't want to go back to another 165 pounds in a bit from now. I'm happy where I am. I want to keep it that way, and I'm going to continue to weigh myself weekly.
Hmm.
Um, that's worked wonders for me because
Hmm.
one of the things with the other programs, uh, they would tell you to weigh yourself. Sorry, I think I said weekly. So my other programs you
Yeah.
weigh yourself weekly, but in here I weigh myself daily, right?
Hmm.
And what I found with the daily weigh-ins is I'm an engineer, so I like numbers. So numbers and trends. So I go back and look at, so maybe I didn't lose a lot of weight this week. But you just look back and you say, okay, well, how's the trend going? And the trend is always down.
Hmm.
So, typically I go up 5 pounds on Mondays, and by the time I reach Friday, I'd lose half a pound.
Hmm.
And even if I gain half a pound for one week, I go back and I say I'm still lower than 3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, boom, you lose a pound and a half the following week. So, anyways, a bit of a tangent here, but uh, yeah, I plan to continue weighing myself in daily
Hmm.
and monitoring my weight that way. So, and I also plan to do so for the summer. I'm following the phase 4. which is essentially maintaining what the gains made to date. And my plan is to have go through the old school muscle September, October timeframe.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait to have
So
you go through that. It's going to be great, especially with your lean frame and haven't had the conditioning through your biking season. To be able to put some muscle on with old school muscle is going to be great.
cool.
And you're going to
Thanks.
like it. Lots of tracking, lots of data and tracking and incremental improvements. So it's going to be right up your alley. But hey,
Right
that's
on.
important, right? I mean, your personality. If you are an engineering type, if you like data and trends, like get the data, trust it, put it in, track this stuff. It gives you structure and guardrails. And the daily wings, we're huge proponents of it because it's not like it needs to go on every day, but it gives you data. It sees how your body reacts to certain things and it keeps you on track. Make sure those drifts are really small. So Jules, powerful stuff in your story. Anything you'd like to close with? Words of wisdom, thanks to the team, a shout out to Ben, our trainer, who is helping you with the deadlift form. So I know these are the unsung heroes behind this company. I get the privilege of speaking with you and saying congratulations from us. My team, says the exact same thing. Anything you'd like to end with in this episode?
Yeah, listen, just a few things on my end. There's yes, thanks to the entire team. Like as we send uh, stuff in, questions in, we get answers right away. You can see the team is right on board and dedicated. So I like that. I want to thank you, all the materials that you've put out there to help us follow a plan. You're making a difference in people's lives. I'll say that. And for sure, my wife and my son. Um, yeah, she's a true inspiration. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, she is.
And so is he. So and there's one more person I'm going to need to reach out to because yeah, she anyways a former mentor of mine, and she's one who sort of pushed me out of my comfort zone at one particular point in my life. And what I'm doing today is really out of my comfort zone. And and I'm doing this because of the little lesson she taught me a while back. So anyway, so I've got to give her a call as well. And yeah, so no, that's about it for me, Dr. A. It's listen, it's been a pleasure to meet you,
Yeah.
and hopefully, this helps, even if it helps one guy.
Yeah. I
It's
know
one
it
more
will.
person that it helps. So yeah,
Well, Jules, thanks for coming on, being out of your comfort zone, sharing your story. I can't wait to get this out to the brotherhood and more guys. And thanks for being here, my friend. I truly appreciate it. And I want to thank you too for being the kind of guy to follow this program. I heard what you said. You only missed like 1 or 2 workouts in that entire time. That's phenomenal. It speaks to your dedication. You did the work, you worked the program, it worked for you. So thanks for being that type of guy. It means a ton to my team and I, and thanks for being on here and sharing with us.